America's sweetheart, Reese Witherspoon, you heard she was arrested for disorderly conduct a couple weeks ago. Her husband, Jim Toth, I thought it was Tim Joth, but Jim Toth was drunk driving. They got pulled over, and she sort of went bananas. Let's go to the videotape.
My name is Reese Witherspoon. You're arresting me for obstruction of justice. It will be in the national news. I just want to let you know.
That's fine.
I'm so glad that way.
Why, on God's holy name, would you have gotten up out of your car? You would have been able to drive.
If I wanted to talk to you like a normal person would talk to a normal person.
But I told you not to get up out of the car.
Absolutely. You told me not to get out of the car.
That's
and
right.
I said to you, I disagree.
Well, that's okay.
Because that's my perspective as an American.
Let's go ahead and take a seat for us, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
He's arresting us.
I understand, but
For what? What have I done?
Well, you've been...
What did I do?
He told you to stop.
Just stop. Don't say anything.
All right, so that's from our friends at TMZ, obviously. Yeah. Now, I thought the cop was incredibly polite. He's like, look, I asked you not to get out of the car.
Yeah.
I told you that might be a bad idea.
Yeah.
And I don't. There's been a lot of cop stops where they haven't been as polite. Okay, so I thought she was already like in pretty good shape with a cop who seems pretty understanding, and then she comes in with the, oh, you're going to be in the national news. Reese, I got bad news for you. You're in the national news, and not in a pretty way. I mean, saying, do you know who I am? That's disastrous. Now we got it on tape.
When she says something like that, do you think she knows that the dashboard camera is on? Is that a piece of what's going on here?
Oh, I don't think so. I think
she was so wasted, no idea.
Yeah.
When does do you know who I am? When does that work out? Like, what is, I mean, here's when it worked out.
Yeah.
Like old towns where the mayor controls the town. Like I can really bring the wrath of God on you. But in the new world order here, it's just a disaster every single time.
Yeah, I mean, because what is Reese Witherspoon going to do? One, keep the story hushed up, like, or two, bring it to the national media, and what, everybody's going to blame the cop?
Yeah.
No, nobody's going to blame the cop. But I know, look, she's wasted, so she's not thinking straight. And she doesn't have the kind of power to be able to fire a local cop in any town. But the thing is...
Cenk, she's America's sweetheart. You don't think she has that kind of gripping power over the judicial system?
Although there would be some irony in America's sweetheart using her wrath to get people fired.
You know, one of the things I always wanted to be, that it would happen with incredible wealth, would be, I'm drunk, my wife's drunk, we're going to leave the car here.
Yeah.
And we're going to send a person to get it in the morning. Like, I have so much money that this whole thing can be taken out just with hundreds. That's it. Like, it's not even going to be that much. It's going to be like $200, and this problem's going to be solved. We're taking a car home. Somebody's going to bring the car to us tomorrow, and then we're going to send them away in another car. Done.
My favorite part of this story is Ben's fantasy of being rich. I'm solving everything with hundreds. Here's hundreds. Here's hundreds. Okay.
What is the point of being so rich, though? I'm with you on this. Like, why be so rich if you still have to hop in the car when you're wasted? Why don't you have a driver, have a limo, something?
Have a helicopter pick you up. What difference does it make?
Exactly. She literally could have had a plane fly in and pick her up, and no, instead, we're going to get drunk and hop in the car and then just go. When was the last time either one of you were so drunk that you had some sort of public display like this? That's the part that seems bizarre.
Oh, well, that I have an answer for.
Except last night.
No, you know, when I lived in New York, I would have great drunken nights of debauchery, okay? And like yelling in the streets and
that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know, right? Weird, right? Too strong! No, not back. Okay. No, and I would literally like do Mel Gibson's whole speech in Braveheart when he's rallying the troops. And
that Mel Gibson speech.
Yeah. Not the sugar tits one. So I've had great times being terribly drunk and doing inappropriate things. But
I love the idea of you walking down the street in New York yelling, "The Jews started all the wars!"
Yeah, and I know you lived on the Upper West. You can't make fun of the Jews on the Upper West.
Yeah, that would not have gone well, I don't suspect. So, but never do you get drunk if you're a good person, I think, and abuse your power. Like, so to me, the most telling part of this story is apparently Reese is a dick. Like she feels that I'm incredibly powerful, and in her context of Hollywood, she is incredibly powerful. You cross her on a set, she can get you fired, and apparently, perhaps, has.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that the argument in general that people who are drunk say what's really on their mind or exhibit their true character, they're drunk. They do crazy stuff when they're drunk. And her apology is so unequivocal and profound that it makes me think that that's probably not true. Like, she's not messing around in any way. She was like, yikes. Super embarrassing, super sorry.
I hear you on that. When it first came out, we had a Supreme Court on it. I was overruled. I thought her publicist wrote it, and they did a brilliant job of writing it. I liked the apology.
We don't know who wrote it.
But I was overruled, and TYT Supreme Court has ruled that she was earnest in her apology, so that is fact going forward, okay? But then I read that Kevin Smith has this huge beef with her, and apparently, like, he says, for whatever it's worth, that she's an unbearable prick in real life, like dismissive of people, like, oh, who are you? I'm America's sweetheart. I'll throw a bag of urine on you. I don't know, who are you?
I feel like this is a movie she's already been in. You know what I mean? Where her as a star gets drunk and goes crazy, and then she has to go to rehab, and the boyfriend from the small hick town comes and.
Regarding Jack's point, she's too pretty. I don't buy it.
Oh, good, good counterpoint. Yeah. That's how I lost the original case. All right.
But here's my favorite part of the story. I don't know whether I didn't catch whether we included that on the tape that you played, Dave. But as the video ends, Witherspoon is escorted into the police car, and her husband apologizes. I'm sorry, he tells the cop. I had nothing to do with that.
No. So you're right. That's absolutely my favorite part. I'm so glad you brought it up. But to me, that proves my point. Her husband's kind of used to this. And it's kind of saying like, so sorry about my wife. She's actually totally unbearable.
Totally. I mean, he is like, that's how bad a day she had, is that the cop handcuffed her and her husband abandoned her.
Yeah. While, by the way, he was being arrested.
He was driving.
He was the one driving. That's the irony.
Yeah.